Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
I'm sorry. Let me hang up my black hoodie and shiesty mask in the closet, so that way I don't get found out to be stomping out Austin Theory. It's the boy Harm.
So that's why I reacted the way I reacted when you were walking away from your computer, because I was like, "Oh snap! I did not expect that." But we'll get into it.
Word. Monday Night Raw emanating from Cleveland, Ohio, last night. Before we start anything,
Mm-hmm.
really good episode of Raw. I
Pretty
was
good.
thoroughly entertained throughout the whole thing.
I agree. Pretty good episode.
There wasn't a lull. I think for you there might have been one lull, but I think wasn't a lull.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
All right, so the show kicks off,
Tell
and
me when
we
you
get our
think I. Tell me when you think I hit a lull. Like
okay.
as we go through it, I'm saying.
Okay, I was trying to think how I said this, so I was spoiling. But the show kicks off, and we get all of our entrances. Like everybody's walking in, and CM Punk starts walking in,
Mhm.
and this was the first surprise. CM Punk's walking in, and he just looks over to the side, and he smiles, and his wife AJ Lee just walks in front of
There's
him.
my
And
lull. No, I'm just.
no, I know where your lull is. I don't even gotta. But his wife AJ Lee walks in
Uh-huh.
and into the frame, and she starts walking in front of him.
Okay.
So here's my before I even get into what happens. Punk is the world heavyweight champion.
Okay.
He's the mainstay of Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's Dominic Mysterio, but he's the number one star. The fact that this is the second or third time I've seen him on screen with his wife, and he's just like, nah, my wife is the bigger deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I took it. It's like, why is AJ leading Punk
Mm-hmm.
right now? She's not a bigger star than you. She's
Mm-hmm.
not a champion.
Okay.
I love AJ, but Punk, you need to be either side by side with her or leading her because you're the number one guy. That's I took it. I thought it was very weird that to have him following her.
Okay.
It was just a weird thing. So as they're walking in, Becky Lynch walks in behind them, and she's
Could I
on
wait
her
before
phone.
before you even get to that? Here's why I think that's weird that you have that take.
Uh huh.
Because, and not to get into like super, intimate stuff, but if Yuli were walking out, you would follow her. You would put her at the forefront.
It depends. It depends on where we are, what we're doing.
I don't see that. I don't see
It,
that. You would
because
put
you
her
have
at the forefront. You've always
it
put her
depends
at
on,
the forefront. So
but it
it's
depends on
weird
what.
for me to think that you would say that about another person doing the
But
exact same thing. I don't see that.
it
I
depends on
don't
what
see
we're
that.
doing because
No,
as
because
us
you're the
as hold
type of
on
person that you'll say that, but your actions will speak different volumes.
as husband, your protector, right?
Yes.
I guess in the world of professional wrestling, where he looks at his wife as my wife is a badass,
Yes.
I don't need to protect her, so I'm gonna stand back here. So I think that's where it is. I look at the little subtleties like
I
that. I think
looked at it as this is my wife. She's amazing. I want to showcase her.
I get that 100%. I get that
But
100%.
that's what I'm
But I
saying. Like
also,
I could
but there,
see,
if
I would see you do that. You would
but
do
if
that.
but if there was a place where me and my late wife, thank you for bringing her up. If there was a place where me and my late wife where I felt like I needed to protect her, I'm gonna be in front
But why are
because
you
I need
thinking in terms of protecting?
because it's husband and wife. I don't look at it as okay. AJ Lee
This is
is
not a dangerous setting.
it's. Have you seen what happens on Monday Night Raw? like, what do you mean it's not a
I can't
dangerous
stand you.
setting? You got Adam Pierce out here every week talking about I need a drink because no one's listening to him.
By the way, when he was getting when he was in the back talking to
Oh, Heyman?
the Vision,
Yeah.
I kept hearing your voice telling me this is the greatest GM of all time.
And I love Adam Pierce. I think he's a great GM. I think he's a great character because I think we're getting way off into the weeds on character development, but I
Yeah.
think Adam Pierce is the epitome of what a real person would be in that role, as
Okay.
opposed to cookie cutter GM just shows up to make matches, right?
Yeah.
Adam Pierce's character dimension when it comes to I need to try to handle this show that's always going crazy around me, and I have no real control because everybody does whatever the heck they want. So
Essentially.
I need a drink constantly, and I'm feuding with one of my biggest young stars because
Mm-hmm.
he won't listen to me
Mm-hmm.
because he's like it's such a great character. Adam Pierce might be the greatest character GM of all time. And that's a lot of that's saying a lot
So
because
the
you got
only
Teddy Long.
reason I was just gonna say the only reason I disagree with you is because I love Teddy Long and I love the fact that every 2 seconds the man was bringing out the Undertaker. That's the only reason.
And man was out there dancing and talking about Undertaker and making tag team matches. Like Teddy Long did such a great job as SmackDown GM back in the day. And don't disrespect Sonya Deville as GM too. I love Sonya Deville as GM in her short run. All right, but let's get back into the show.
Mm-hmm.
So Becky walks in behind them while they're making their entrance, and Becky's looking at her phone, so she doesn't actually see them at first. And Becky looks up and she sees AJ Lee, and she starts flipping out. She starts freaking out, and AJ and Punk never actually see Becky freaking out behind her. So Becky turns and walks away. So then we get our 2 shot of Michael Cole and Corey Graves. And as Corey Graves is breaking down what the rundown of the show is, Becky's music hits. And Becky comes out and she's freaking out. She's like, I'm the greatest women's champion of all time. I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time. I'm not going to get to everything she says. But eventually she goes, AJ Lee doesn't need to be here. She's driving me crazy. And AJ's music hits. And AJ comes out. And this is the charm of AJ Lee, but also I can understand why people could get annoyed with it.
In
So
terms of
Becky is AJ comes off and she comes into the ring, she skips, she gets into the ring, and she goes, hey, Becky, I'm sorry you feel that way. I feel like you're freaking out. I feel like you're having a nervous breakdown. And I don't really understand it because because you said, and Becky did say this, but she goes, Becky, you said I'm ruining your life and I'm causing you sleep. I'm the reason you're losing sleep. And she goes, but I haven't done anything to you except for that one time I beat you at WrestlePalooza. Yeah, that was kind of a thing. And then that other time I beat you at War Games.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And that
And
time I
then
cost you
and then
that
time
title.
I cost you the Intercontinental Championship at Madison Square Garden. Hearing it back all out loud, I can understand why. And I love AJ. I love her. But Becky does such a great job. This segment doesn't work if Becky's not 100% in character freaking out because her facials and her
100%.
everything was amazing in this. And it's the
I don't
story of
care
Becky.
how many times she says it, but every time she says, and I'm the best wrestler ever, and Sports Illustrated says it, and so every time she says it, it doesn't get stale to me. Because of the way her character is. Like, she has to bring it up. She has to throw it in your face. You know what I mean? I like this segment.
This segment was solid. So Becky tells her,
solid. I actually enjoyed it.
no, it was good. It was a good segment. And so Becky tells her, listen, I want to fight you. I want to have a match with you. We're going to do it at Elimination Chamber. And AJ tells her, I haven't had a singles match in over a decade. But you know what? Because I've beaten you twice, that should make me the number one contender for that shiny little thing on your shoulder. And Becky's freaking out. She goes, no. We're not putting the title on the line. You haven't done anything to earn this championship. And AJ goes, okay, no title, no match. And she starts to walk away. And Becky tells her, fine, you want the title? You want the match? You can have the match. We'll do it for the title, but don't be upset when I smear your blood all over this canvas.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ leaves and Becky still feud. It's the thing. AJ outsmarted Becky in this whole scenario.
100%.
Um,
Now, prediction.
I wait till later in the show to give you my prediction because my prediction actually leads into another segment later.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So then we get our first match of the night. The Usos in the Alpha Academy. This was not where I think your lull is, but I think it's later. But this was a good match. I would say
It's exactly what I expected the match to be. That's what I'll say.
Akira Tozawa looked great in this match, bruh.
Oh, yes, he did.
Tozawa was great. You knew the Alpha Academy was not winning this match.
100%.
This was 10 to 15 minutes of two babyface teams putting together a really solid match for the tag team championships.
Here's my thing. We knew the title wasn't going to change hands.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy hasn't been seen on TV in weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm presuming has to do with home stuff, which is fine. None of our business. However, at the end of the match, what did he do? All he did the entire time was shout out and say, "Oh, Jay, you need to be the Jey Uso that we know and love. We need you to essentially be the main event."
All right. So the finish of this match sees Tozawa hitting multiple diving headbutts to the outside, and then suicide dives that were really headbutts because you could see Jimmy Uso's mouth was busted open from one of them at the end, and he eventually hits a senton onto I think it was Jay. He hit a senton. They kick out. Jay eventually hits a super kick, and then they tag it. He tags in Otis, and they eventually hit a 1D onto Otis to get the pinfall. So yeah, you talked about the ending where Jimmy cuts the promo and says because Byron Saxton was in the ring wearing the same exact suit Corey Graves was wearing, which is hilarious. Mm-hmm. But Byron Saxton asks him what's next for the Usos, and Jimmy says, "We're gonna move on to continue to be the greatest tag team of all time. But Jay, you need to qualify for the Elimination Chamber, and you need to win it, and to get your World Heavyweight Championship back, or WWE Championship, because he'd be going for Cody's title, Drew's title at this point, and become main event Jey Uso." My problem with this is, and I understand it's an overall story, and we're trying to get Jey Uso back to main event status, and that's what the tag team division and giving them the titles was for. We thought one of them was going to turn on the other one because of jealousy or not being able to do it or whatever. If I'm Jimmy Uso, if I'm older brother Jim, and then how I affectionately call him, Better Uso, why am I telling my younger brother, younger by 6 minutes, but why am I telling my younger twin brother, go for this World Heavyweight Championship, go for the Undisputed Championship, and go get what's yours, instead of motivating myself and be like, I just saw my twin do it. If my twin can do it, why can't I do it? Where's my self-motivation? Why can't I upgrade myself to that level? You're essentially the same wrestler. You had the same moves. You had the same stamina. You had the same everything. You have better charisma than your brother.
I got this. It's possible in this world to want better for your brother than yourself. Now, that being said, I'll give you this. Growing up, me and you together, number one, we've always wanted better for each other. And
100%.
that's what brotherhood is, right? I think we each see there's a roadblock, right, for ourselves in life. And I feel like for ourselves, I don't see that roadblock for you. You don't see that roadblock for me. So even I'll bring up the fact that I used to make music.
Mm-hmm.
And when I used to make music, you used to big me up so much.
Yep. Your music's dope.
You used to big me up so much to the point where you were like, I don't understand it. You could have definitely made it, so on and so forth,
I
right?
still think you should record an intro for the Squashfest podcast.
All right. My point is that when it comes to brotherhood, you don't see for yourself what you see for your brother. I don't see the same limitations that I have for myself. I don't see those in you, and you don't see those vice versa.
Okay.
Jimmy doesn't see, right, the limitations for his brother, especially for the fact that his brother's already been at the mountaintop. Whereas for himself, he doesn't have such ambitions. He doesn't think he's worthy, so to speak. That's where I see it. That's how I view it. He doesn't see himself as worthy. The issue here would be that Jay doesn't big up his brother the same way that his brother bigs up him.
That's a different total argument I was going to make. My argument was going to be like, Jimmy, you and your brother have always been on the same level up until the Bloodline saga, and then you got hurt. And we don't got to go into detail about that.
Yeah.
But who are the two most important people in Jimmy Uso's life, not including his kids from a different thing? Let's say, just talk about kayfabe. Who are the two most important people in Jimmy Uso's life?
Jay and
Naomi. And kayfabe. Jay and Naomi.
Yeah.
Because they have talked about Naomi being his wife, even though they don't interact a lot on TV. You have two people who are, one's your twin, one's your wife, who have been to the mountaintop of their careers. And to your point, maybe he doesn't see that for himself.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think he sees it for himself.
But you're seeing the people closest to you get there. That should be motivation for you to be like, my daughter, my wife was a funkadactyl. You understand what it like? You understand?
But that's why I say I feel like story-wise, that would be compelling to push this man to the moon. Right?
But yet the story,
but the story just doesn't follow. They just don't push this man. They don't push that storyline. I don't understand it either. I'm just saying, currently, where we're at, he cares more about what happens to the people around him than himself.
And I get that, but the story could be super compelling. He'd be like, oh, my cousin Roman is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. My brother's a former world heavyweight champion. My wife is a multi-time world champion, winner of the Women's Money in the Bank, and just had a baby, and she's going to come back and probably take that title off of somebody. I need to figure out a way to not disrespect my father and my legacy, because right now, Jimmy is, when it comes to Rikishi and his lineage, I'm not talking about like the rest of us, because I'm the bottom. So I need to figure out a way to get there. And Elimination Chamber can be my spot. Put me in one of these matches. Let me win. Let me get in. And I think that if you write it right, Jimmy can have a Kofi Mania style movement moving forward, because it's Kofi Mania. The reason Kofi got into that Elimination Chamber that really pushed Kofi Mania is because Mustafa Ali got hurt and Kofi was a replacement. So everybody rallied behind Kofi. He's been here 11 years. He's never got the shot. He's never been world champion. Let's rally behind Kofi, and fans pushed him to a world title. I think you could do that with Jimmy.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. That's just not where the story's going.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm aware. Because again, it's like if Jimmy were to turn on Jay, you turn him heel, people are gonna hate it. If Jay
100%.
turns on Jimmy, I don't think people hate Jay. I think they'll understand the complexity because so many people love Jay that I don't think he turns fully heel. But neither one of them I don't think are going to be number one in their family. Roman's going to go away at some point, but I think Jacob is going to just elevate the both of them and be number one Samoan in that company.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we talked about this with Finn. You got to strike while they're available. Like,
100%.
if you wait too long on Jimmy, it's going to never be Jimmy's time.
And it's not like they haven't been in the company since the dawn of time.
2008, I think.
It's been a long time. So if you're gonna pull the trigger on things, you have to start doing it now.
Yeah. All right. So then we get Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan out to the ring, and I understand that they're trying to do this thing with Liv, where I don't know if I'm gonna pick Stephanie. I don't know if I'm gonna pick Jade. Blah blah blah. It's gonna be Stephanie. Like this is 100% gonna be Liv, Stephanie at Mania. So they come out to the ring, and before Liv could even speak, Dom stops her and goes over to the timekeeper area, and he
gets her
reaches out his arm.
flowers and
Gets her flowers,
all
gets her
this
candy.
blah blah blah.
I saw the side by side. It was very reminiscent of Eddie Guerrero in China when he gave China the flowers.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that. I was
you
like,
can
okay.
learn a lot from Dominic. It's about to be Valentine's. Like it was just cringe.
Liv is great. Liv is great. But that's their character.
She's I know. It's their character. That's why I didn't hate it. It's just at the same time, it's cringe.
So Liv says you can learn a lot from Dominic. You can, it's about to be Valentine's Day, and then she goes to hug him, and I feel like production was off.
Okay.
Because she goes to hug him, and then she separates, and they wait like a few seconds, and then Dom pulls the mic to his mouth, and that's when Stephanie's music hit.
Mm.
I feel like they were about 5 to 10 seconds too late. I feel like that music, that pyro and that music should have hit while she was hugging Dominic Mysterio, because it was a weird. I feel like they were waiting for it, and it's just like, we don't have anything to do right now. What's happening?
Okay.
So Stephanie comes out, and she comes to the ring, and she goes, Liv, I don't know if you're gonna pick me or you're gonna pick Jade, and she starts talking to her in Spanish, and Liv is confused, and she's like, Dominic. She looks at Dom. She goes, what'd she just say to me? Which was hilarious.
Yeah. And then he was like,
because
I don't know if I should say what she said. And
hold on. Coming off of the conversation we just had off mic, it felt very America to me, where Stephanie is yelling at Liv, and she has no idea what's being conveyed to her. We're talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm just like, okay, because as a wrestling fan who doesn't speak Spanish, I'm like, I can understand half these words Stephanie's saying, but I have no idea what she's trying to tell Liv. But they played it off well. Yeah. So Liv looks at Dom. She goes, I don't. What she say to me, Dom says, I don't think I should say what she said to you. And then Dom starts speaking back to Stephanie in Spanish, and Liv's super happy. And Liv looks at Dom. She goes, what'd you say to her? Mm-hmm. And Stephanie looks at Liv. She goes, he said he's a bitch.
Basically.
And Liv is like, no, that's not what he said. My daddy Dom wouldn't say that. And so Stephanie goes to leave eventually, and Dom gets in her face. Stephanie hits him with the weakest slap of all time.
That's not what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
Liv called her a puta.
And
then that's when he got slapped in the goddamn face, because she was like, "Tú me vas a llamar a mí a una puta," and then she slapped him in the face.
She said that in English, by the way, except for puta.
Yeah,
but she said that in English except for puta. But yes, and then that's when Stephanie yells back and slaps Dom with the weakest slap ever, and she walks away. We're getting Stephanie Love. Like that. This is
100%. My question is, to your point, if it's not Jade and Bianca Belair, who the hell is it?
Tiffany.
Tiffany?
I'm just trying to think of who on that SmackDown roster could win the Elimination Chamber right now.
Tiffany?
I know. If it's not going to be Jade Bianca at Mania because Bianca is still not back yet.
Which is crazy for a finger injury.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been almost a year. It's been Mania last year. It's been almost a year. I'm gonna say it's Tiffany. Like the women's roster on SmackDown. You're not gonna do Jordan again. You're not gonna pull Jordan through Mania to do Jordan. As much as I love Jordan Grace, she doesn't have that clout on WWE TV for a Mania match yet. The Bellas are in the tag division. Rhea, maybe you do Rhea. Maybe Rhea comes out of Elimination Chamber. You do Rhea and Jade, but you'd have to tell a story between the two of them in a month because they haven't been on TV together.
Yeah.
And I'm still hoping for a Rhea Io WrestleMania match.
Stop it.
Straight up. I'm still hoping for it straight up.
It's too soon.
I know. There's no one on that SmackDown women's roster. Because who has qualified for the women's on the women's side already? It's been Rhea. We'll get into that later. Rhea won her match later. And
Tiffany.
That's it.
Yeah.
They announced next week it's Bayley. It was 3 people. It was Bayley, Asuka. They did the segment. It was Bayley, Asuka, and somebody else.
I don't know. It'll have it in the summary at some point.
Okay. Well, either way, we'll get into the next match, which we just spoiled. It was Rhea, Lyra, and Ivy Nile for the Elimination Chamber qualifying match.
Can I just say, when I went into this match, I was ready for Rhea to just lose, because I'm.
You know she wasn't gonna.
I know she wasn't gonna, but my point is that Rhea is amazing. We know that. But at some point, we have to push new stars. I was ready for Ivy Nile. That's just me.
I would have been ready so hard
for Ivy Nile to be pushed, to be in some sort of something that mattered, and no.
Here's my thing. It's like Rhea wins this match. She pins Lyra after a riptide. I'm just getting it out of the way now. Besides the fact that this match was sloppy as all crap. Yep. This match was so many botches and missed times, and you'll have that happen in 3 ways and 4 ways where the timings are off.
Yeah.
But there was just a lot in this match. Ivy Nile is the perfect person in this style of match to get the pinfall over Lyra, because you got Rhea's Teflon. To me, she's 1A, 1B with Liv. They're the biggest women stars in the company. Lyra is a future star in your company. She's already won 3 major championships in this company. She's going to be a star. Ivy Nile is a perfect person to get the shock win right now. Get her in Elimination Chamber. Let her show what she can do, but let her be one of the first 1 or 2 out in the Elimination Chamber. She doesn't need to win Chamber, but putting her in that match can elevate her in a way where Montez Ford was elevated when he was in the Elimination Chamber, right?
And he had a breakout performance. Did anyone think he was going to win?
No, absolutely not.
But he had a breakout performance in that match. It was new. It was fresh. It was exactly what it needed to be. Ivy could have been put in that position.
She's so different physique-wise, right? We talked about Jordan the other day on our last episode, where she's so muscular but so small. Ivy is smaller than Jordan, but has that physique frame where if she's in the ring with somebody, she can outpower and outmaneuver people. I think they need to do something with her. She's a special talent. I think she's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's gonna be a great like number one person ever for this company, but
Mm-hmm.
she's a girl that you keep around for a long time.
Yep.
But yeah, Rhea gets this win. But this is the way TKO does things. They just want to have the biggest names in all of their matches moving forward. Um, we got then we got Michael Cole in the ring to interview CM Punk. Before Michael Cole could introduce CM Punk, Finn. Oh, let's talk about the backstage segment first. So we got a backstage segment with the Judgment Day, and this was after the Liv stuff. And I love the fact that Liv had on a black T-shirt that said, "I said hot girls love Dominic Mysterio," and not Rio. Raquel had on a white T-shirt that said "hot girls love Dominic Mysterio." I'm just like, that popped me. I was like, why is Raquel wearing this? That doesn't seem right. But Raquel goes to Dami. She goes, "You need to go speak to tu hermano, your brother."
Mm.
And he goes over, and Finn's just sitting there. Finn seems distraught, upset, and Dom tells him, "I understand you're still upset you lost your championship match in Ireland, but eventually JD will be back, and you guys will win the tag team championships back, and all will be right in the Judgment Day." And Finn looks at him and goes, "Have you not been paying attention? I don't want the tag titles. I still have something to finish with Punk. I want to win the world championship and bring it back." And Dom tells him, "Well, that's kind of past because we already have Finn Roman at Mania, so you kind of missed your shot." So Finn says, "I didn't miss my shot," and he walks off. And Dom just looks like confused. So then we get Michael Cole in the ring, about to introduce CM Punk. Finn gets into the ring, snatches the mic from him, and says, "I'm tired of being an afterthought. I didn't even get into the Rumble. I laid CM Punk out 2 weeks ago. Roman can't just skip the line and pick the bones of what I did. I want the World Heavyweight Championship, and I want it at Elimination Chamber." Adam Pearce comes out with security eventually because they were behind him. And he's telling Finn, "No, you had your shot. You blew it. It's past." And Finn's like, "What about the Rumble? You screwed me on that." He goes, "Yeah, you were too late." And Punk's music hits. Punk gets into the ring. Finn jumps out of the ring. Finn gets on top of the announce table, and Pierce and the security guards are standing ringside between the announcer's desk and the ring. And Punk is like yelling at Finn, "You want to get your ass beat? I still need my pound of flesh. We can do it right now, right here, right now in Cleveland, or we can do it at Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks if that's what you want."
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Pearce is yelling, "I was no, I'm not doing that. You can't be risking your WrestleMania match against Roman for Finn." And Punk tells him, "Make the match, or I'm going to run around here all night looking for Finn Balor and get my pound of flesh either way."
Mm-hmm.
So Adam Pearce reluctantly makes the match for Elimination Chamber. So we get CM Punk, Finn Balor. And so everybody leaves.
Which sucks.
Because Finn's going to lose.
Because Finn's going to lose. However, that'll be a banger.
100%. And I think this is the match. Like, we had the Raw match a couple weeks ago, which Finn was great in. This is the match that's going to remind people Finn is still Finn. Like, we've spent too much time making Finn a comedy act and making him like he said, an afterthought. Finn needs to go out there and carry that match and be the star and be like, "Nah, 2026 is the year of Finn."
Yeah.
And maybe he wins later in the year after Roman Punk. Maybe he wins has a short run
at some point.
At some point. But yeah, after everybody leaves, Punk is in the ring with Michael Cole, and Michael Cole looks at him, and this is where I didn't like this segment because it's kind of disrespectful on Michael Cole's part. He looks at Punk. He goes, "What are you doing?" Why are you risking the WrestleMania main event, one of the greatest of all time, for this? And when he said for this, you're kind of, I took it as Finn is a secondary character. He's not looking at Finn on the level of Punk and Roman.
Yep.
Finn is a former Universal Champion.
Yep.
He's a former 2-time
Yep.
NXT champion, multi-time Intercontinental champion, multi-time tag team champion. One of the best wrestlers in the world.
Say it with your chest.
You can't be disrespecting a guy who's now going to be challenging for the world title.
Yep.
Because now no one in your fan base believes Finn can win because of that one line Michael Cole said.
Yep. Fuck you, Michael Cole. Nah.
But Punk cuts a promo. He says, I always said I was going to be a fighting champion.
Yep.
I'm going to put this on the line every single week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting for him to say the line of, and this is what I thought, if I can't beat Finn Balor, I shouldn't face Roman Reigns at Mania.
Agreed.
That's what Punk should have said.
Yep.
He didn't say that. He said, it's going to be in my hometown. I'm going in and week out and defending this championship to basically to create my legacy, to create my greatness. Mm-hmm. Here's my thing about Punk. I don't like Punk. I think he's a little overrated, but Punk's legacy is cemented. Mm-hmm. Punk is really the first man to come from the indie scene to mainstream WWE and have great success. Mm-hmm. Punk, regardless of what he does for the rest of his career, is going to go down in a lot of people's minds as a top 5 wrestler of all time. Won't be a lot of people's. Won't be on mine, but there's a lot of people who will put him there.
That's crazy, though. Top 5 is.
You got to understand you don't have the indie wrestling fans
I get you. I'm just saying top 5 is crazy to me. A casual, that's crazy to me.
They love Punk. They love Joe.
Where does he fall in? If you're thinking about as a casual, to me, top 5 is insane. As a hardcore for you, that's also insane. Where the hell does he fall in?
So for me, as a hardcore, I think he's a top 15. I don't think
that's what I'm saying. So who the hell is putting him top 5?
Some people
if it's not casual and it's not hardcore, who the hell's doing
some people
it?
I've had
some people need to get punched in the mouth.
We could do that, but I've had this conversation, the same conversation I've had with you, where he's a little overrated in everything he does. But so everybody else, I've had a conversation with people like he's my favorite wrestler of all time, and I'm just like, I don't see that. I don't. Because if you're saying he's your favorite wrestler, there's a difference between being the favorite and the greatest, right?
Yeah.
I've had conversation with people saying like he's my favorite wrestler of all time. And when you say favorite wrestler of all time, it's like, all right, I'm gonna think you consider him a top Mount Rushmore guy.
Okay.
Right. My favorite wrestler is Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart.
Same.
And if you're talking, but I can differentiate the in-ring wrestler versus the character. Yeah. I don't think Bret Hart's a Mount Rushmore WWE guy.
Agreed.
I know you're coming up. You love Kurt Angle. I don't consider Kurt Angle a top 4 WWE guy either.
I don't consider him a top 4 either.
He's
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I don't consider him. If I was naming my Mount Rushmore, he wouldn't be on it. But he's one of my favorites, like absolute favorites. And he's a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Punk's never been a wrestler.
Yeah,
like Brian was that guy.
Yeah,
Brian was that guy in a lot of ways. Punk was the character. Punk was the guy who people can relate to. He was the generation under us Stone Cold.
Okay.
Like as our generation loved Austin, the anti-authority, beat up your boss, stun everybody, don't DTF every single week. Punk was that guy on a different level because he would say the things that you were feeling when no one else wanted to say those things. So I can understand. So hear me out. Where do we go with Finn moving forward? He's going to lose at Elimination Chamber. The babyface turn is coming for Finn Balor once he decides to leave the Judgment Day.
And it's funny because for months we kept saying that it was going to be Dominic.
I was about to get there just now.
It was going to be Dominic. And at this point in time, I feel like it's Finn and it needs to be Finn because I'm ready to root for this guy.
My question is, I still think the Dom babyface turn is coming, but my
I'm sure it
question is,
will, but I feel like it's going to be well after the destruction of the Judgment Day.
yeah, when Finn leaves Judgment Day, is he a or when this feud is over, is Finn on the level of a main event status to challenge for one of these two World Heavyweight Championships, or because he decided to leave Judgment Day, do we eventually get him and Dominic Mysterio for that Intercontinental Championship?
That also
And
needs to happen too. That's the funny
like,
thing. We want
so,
him in the main event picture, but we also want him to overtake Dominic.
yeah, and I think that's going to be first. I think when he leaves Judgment Day or gets kicked out of Judgment Day, eventually making him a babyface, he's the one that takes that title off of Dom. And Finn as Intercontinental Champion in this under the Paul Levesque era. If you do something with Finn as IC champion where
Here,
he's putting on great matches, he can elevate that title.
here's the thing. I don't. I would want him more as a heavyweight champion than I would care for him to go over Dominic.
I agree. I don't disagree with that sentiment.
Okay.
I want the finality of the Judgment Day story because I hate when they tease things and they drop things because they do it a lot.
A lot.
Let's get the finality of the Judgment Day story. Finn leaves. Finn's a babyface. Dominic Mysterio elevates himself to being true leader moving forward, and then we'll figure out what to do with Finn on a main event level afterwards. Like you can't just be a clean break between him and Dom. You tease this for way too long. We got. So I missed the beginning of this because I went to go make food, but I caught the end of it. Okay. Maxine Dupree and Natty.
So this match was not the squash fest that we said it needed to be. I just want to point that out.
I came back when they were brawling on the outside.
Maxine put up way too much offense than needed to be. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, I was cool with the fact that Natty said, you know what, screw this match. I just want to hurt her, and got counted out and continued to just put on the sharpshooter. I was cool with that. Why AJ Lee decided to put her nosy ass in the middle of this, I don't know why.
Because earlier in the show, when Becky
said I'm here for this match. I'm here Whatever. No one cares, bro. I needed Natty to just ball out for once. And they couldn't even give her that.
You asked me for my prediction on AJ versus Becky.
Okay.
AJ wins. AJ is your Intercontinental Champion.
Okay.
And her first feud is Natty Neidhart.
Okay.
That's where I took it. Natty's first feud will be AJ Lee for that Women's Intercontinental Championship, and I think Natty wins.
That's a bold prediction. I don't see that happening, but I understand your logic.
You got to get the title to Natty somehow. Becky's already a heel, so you don't want to do heel. You get, and this will be after Mania. You get AJ and Becky through Mania. AJ wins the title because I don't think she's going to win a chamber. I think she loses the chamber, and then we do the rematch. Something happens, and we do the rematch at Mania. AJ wins at Mania. Natty's the one that takes that title off of AJ Lee because she's not going to be a full-time wrestler. She's not going to be there.
100% agree.
So how do we get the title to Natty Neidhart in this era, in this inclination of Natty, when you already have a heel in Becky? You have a transitional champion that everybody loves, who only shows up once in a while, who it'll be like who just won a title recently and lost it fast. Oh crap. It wasn't Dragunov. Somebody won a title and then lost it real quick to somebody else. And it's not Sami Zayn. It might be AEW I'm thinking about. Anyways, but no, it has to be WWE.
It'll come to you.
It'll come to me somewhere. But I think AJ's a transitional champion. You get the feel good moment, and then Natty beats her.
Okay.
For the Intercontinental Championship. but I didn't like the double count out made sense when she's beating down Maxine. I like my idea better where referee stoppage Natty beats the crap out of Maxine. And even if you want to do the referee stoppage, Natty beats the crap out of Maxine, and Natty's not listening to the ref to get her off of her, and then AJ Lee comes out, you can do the same thing by still making Natty look better, in my opinion. So afterwards, when AJ is trying to escort Maxine to the back, Becky jumps the barricade. Becky pushes AJ into the. I think she pushed her into the post because she was selling her face.
Yeah.
And the two of them were selling injuries, and then Becky walks away. So it did what it needed to do. It made us care more about Natty, and it made us want to.
I love Natty putting the sharpshooter on the table. And she was just not caring about nobody coming up, trying to break up nothing. She was just like her stone cold face.
But that's my point. It's like I like it because the sharpshooter is such an iconic move for her family. So it's just like I'm gonna do this. But I think the knockout would have been better.
It's the same. I agree. I don't think you're wrong. I think a knockout would have been better. But they made a choice here.
To not abuse women on Netflix. I agree. That was a choice to not have the pretty skinny girl get beat down by somebody else on Netflix. I get it. Just the way I would book it. All right. So you were asking me to remind you about this. We're going to talk about it right now. Javon Evans and Original El Grande Americano versus Rayo and Bravo. This didn't need to be on the show.
So
this was the lull I was talking about for you, by the way.
I was waiting for when you were gonna call out the lull.
This was the lull. This was the lull for you. I know you don't care about this segment. You don't care about Ludwig Kaiser El Grande versus Chad Gable El Grande as much as I do. I think this is hilarious. This is the comic segment. This is great. My one question is, where are the Creed brothers?
You're so stupid. I just don't see the point in this match. I don't see the point in this. What does I get it with Javon being involved because he's been having a feud with them for the last few weeks. But then to join up with El Grande Americano and suddenly he's supposed to be a face?
They stole my gimmick. I'm a face. Nothing. He showed up at Royal Rumble and got cheered. He did.
Not a fan. Not a fan of this segment. Not a fan of what they're doing with this gimmick. I'm over it. I prefer what they're doing with Grande Americano in AAA.
I was going to say, in America, OG El Grande, Chad Gable, is a babyface.
Yes.
Mexican El Grande, who's actually German, is not a babyface. He's a heel. In Mexico, Ludwig Kaiser El Grande is a babyface. Like, they cheer him there. And they play into it with even down to their gear. Chad Gable was wearing stars and stripes on his gear, and Ludwig was wearing the Mexican flag. They're playing on this nationalism gimmick that's going on in this country right now, moving forward. That being said, eventually this is going to end up mask versus mask match, because at Rumble
they kept teasing it tonight anyway because they kept trying to rip off each other's masks.
At the end, this is going to be mask versus mask. Javon gets the win with an OG cutter on, I think it's Tyler Bate, Bravo, whatever one of Tyler Bate is, the blue one. It doesn't really matter. Javon gets the pin. But yeah, towards the end of it, after El Grande, when I say new and OG, I'm going to say new El Grande attacks them both. OG El Grande hits him with a German suplex, and then tries to take off Ludwig's mask. He escapes, and then you get them yelling at each other. My question is, when we finally do get this match, I understand mask versus mask is loser loses their mask. Can we just have both of them on mask? Can we have Ludwig forced to drop the El Grande gimmick, and then Chad, being the victor, holding up that mask, takes his one off and be like, "It's been me all along, Austin. It's me," in a victorious gimmick. So that way we know, because we know Chad is OG, and we know Ludwig is new one. And when this is over, we just be done with all of it.
This needs to happen. It's not going to happen. It reminds me of Hulk Hogan in the blue
Mr. America.
Mr. America
Mr.
gimmick.
America.
I'm over it. I need it to stop. I know you love it, and I know you find it hilarious. This needs to stop.
Listen, we need to get the Creed brothers under some American masks.
No, we don't.
We do. We can't have OG Americano.
Doing
wrestling.
that prolongs everything, bro.
Now we do a 6-man tag mask versus mask match at Survivor Series in November.
I hate you so much sometimes.
I find this entertaining.
I know you do.
Relief.
That's the problem.
It was a fun match.
Oh my god.
All right. Did we miss any backstage segments before we get into the main event? Oh yeah, we got to talk about the Vision before we get into the main event. So we had a backstage segment where Paul Heyman, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul walk up to Adam Pearce, and Paul Heyman basically tells him, "You have an issue with Braun Breaker being hurt because it's not good for business with him being out. So what are we going to do about it?" And Adam Pearce basically tells him, like, "I agree with you. Braun Breaker being out is not good for Monday Night Raw. It's not good for you, and it's not good for me. But these are the cards we're dealt." And Austin, who's wearing this weird Chris Jericho scarf at the time, has a qualifying match tonight against Penta and LA Knights. And you three better not get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Heyman looks at him as, "What happens if we do?" And he doesn't really give him. He goes, "I'm going to tell you this as GM, and I'm going to tell you this as friend. It's not." No, because Paul Heyman asked him, is that a suggestion or is that a directive communicative, is what the words he used. Or communicative directive, something like that. And he goes, "It's neither. I'm going to tell you this as a friend. It's a threat." And so they walk off, and Paul Heyman puts his arm around Austin Theory and says, "He just said FAFO."
Mm-hmm.
So as they walk off, Logan gets in his face.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan Paul says to Adam Pearce,
"I need you going forward, when you say Logan Paul, I need you to be like, and terrible human being, salt of the earth."
"Oh, he's a horror.
I know. I just need you to announce it that way. Like, going forward, I need you to every single time." Uh-huh.
He's not Alberto Del Rio.
He might as well be.
That man's never tried to kidnap a Mexican woman, and like, listen, Alberto Del Rio was in jail in a Mexican prison for kidnapping. Like, I'm saying, the worst thing Logan Paul has ever done was go to a Japanese forest.
All right, we're good. Stop trying to get us canceled.
Listen, you could look it up yourself. So yeah, and do a horrendous match against Floyd Mayweather. So Logan gets in his face, and I forget what Logan says. It doesn't really matter. So he walks away. Adam Pearce walks away, and Bronson Reed puts his arm around Logan, and he goes, "That's not your problem. Moving forward, that's my problem now." Mm-hmm. So which said to me two things. Braun Breaker really, really hurt himself trying to flip that table last week on Raw because he needed to have emergency surgery on a hernia. And to have Braun Breaker be the focal point and the ending point of that, not Braun Breaker, I'm sorry, Bronson Reed be the focal point and the ending point on that segment shows me that they're going to start elevating Bronson Reed to be the focal point.
Especially the fact that he said at the end of it, he was like, he's not your problem, he's my problem.
He's my problem.
I took that and I was like, what? I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Because Braun's not going to be back for a while.
I get it. So if Braun's not back for a while, Seth's not back for a while, it does naturally need to fall on Bronson Reed. So let's see. Because not for nothing, Bronson Reed is an amazing wrestler.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
And he could definitely get that push. I'm totally for it. I just think it's a big problem that Seth and Braun Breaker are both out. That's crazy, bro.
I would have thought that Braun would have gone into Elimination Chamber and maybe won. Maybe not win, but have a prominent spot at Mania that Seth cost him his match. And if Braun's going to be out, what do you do at Mania with the Vision?
Mm-hmm.
And like, it needs to eventually be Seth Braun.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to push that all the way to SummerSlam?
Mm-hmm.
Until both of them are healthy? Because that's a long time away. That's 6 months away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it might be a problem moving forward, continuity and storytelling wise. Which leads us into our main event: Penta, LA Knight, Austin Theory. The match is the match. The match is the match. Like I'm not going to say this was a good match.
Who did you think was going to win from the beginning?
Honestly, if going into this match I didn't spoil it for myself, I would have seen Austin Theory coming out.
You're wildin'. They have given you no indication of that in the last couple weeks. They've given you no indication. It was never going to be Penta. What are you doing?
I don't believe that they're ever going to do anything with LA Knight until they do.
I don't either. But you know what they do? You know what they're consistent with? Is pretending like they're going to do something with LA Knight. They're consistent with that.
Okay, but how? So here's my thing. I've been saying for months, Austin Theory is a plank of the Vision.
Yes.
To tear them down from the inside.
Yes.
We'll go right to the end.
Okay.
The triple threat, no disqualification rules. Logan Paul hits the ring. Bronson Reed hits the ring. They don't care that the ref is there. They just start beating people down. They hit Penta with a tsunami because the referee can't do anything with it. Penta leaves the ring. They take his knee out on the outside. Adam Pearce hits the ring. They're distracted. Austin Theory is outside the ring with Penta while LA Knight is selling something on the inside ring. It doesn't matter. And Masked Man hits the side. Masked Man attacks Austin Theory, hits super kick, hits stomp, throws Austin Theory in the ring. LA Knight eventually gets up, hits BFT for the win. LA Knight advances to Elimination Chamber. If my theory was correct in saying LA Knight was a plant of Seth Rollins in the Vision, why would the new Masked Man come out and cost Austin Theory match to go into Elimination Chamber?
Repeat that?
If my theory is correct, and Austin Theory is plant of Seth Rollins to tear down the Vision from the inside, why would new Masked Man come out and cost Austin Theory match going into Elimination Chamber?
To make you think that they're unrelated.
So you think that this was a swerve on the part of Seth Rollins? Hey, Grayson Waller, whoever is under that mask right now.
That would make perfect sense. However, do I think that the mainstream wrestling viewer would follow that along? No. I think it's above their head. I think it's too
So
complicated for them.
So we're playing 4D chess at this point. Austin Theory, you need to take a stomp from somebody because we need to continue screwing this group moving forward. When I am also costing you an opportunity to get into a main event match at WrestleMania. That makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense because if I'm Austin Theory, the wrestler, the kayfabe wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And I'm former Money in the Bank winner, former United States champion winner, and I have an opportunity to potentially win a match that puts me in another match to give me a spot at WrestleMania. I don't care who you are, I'm not letting you cost me that opportunity because that could be the make of my career. So we can figure something else out to tear down this group from the inside. But you're telling me I have to now give up my opportunity because your hatred of this group is there? Nah, bro. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to win this match.
So who do you think this shit is?
My problem is I still think I still believe in my idea, but I don't. The only way it makes
Grayson
sense.
Waller playing Seth Rollins is the question.
That's what I was going to say. The only way this makes sense is if it's set somebody else to cost them the gimmick, and yet Austin Theory is blindsided by everything. Like last night made zero logical sense to me in my brain because I can't see the guy who's in the match to potentially get a World Heavyweight Championship shot at the biggest show of the year saying, nah, stop me in the face.
Yeah.
Unless Seth literally has been doing it from the beginning and saying, nah, it's just been Grayson Waller. And maybe Austin Theory just did it on his own. And then Seth's like, that's a great idea. Let me F with them some more. Like, there are so many questions to be had because of what happened last night. And we might be overthinking this entire thing, and we might just say, all right, it really is Seth Rollins come Mania time under the mask, which would be the worst underwhelming thing that they could do.
I'm inclined to believe that this is Seth Rollins. And I believe that this is Grayson Waller playing the character of Seth Rollins.
Until Seth's healthy.
Until Seth is healthy. That's where I'm at with this. Because I don't want to believe that Grayson Waller is in fact playing Grayson Waller. And Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are both in a staple with Seth Rollins. Especially when Grayson Waller kept bashing Austin Theory and then joined the New Day. Like, that has nothing to do with nothing. So I would rather just him playing a character right now, but this is essentially
Imagine we get a promo after WrestleMania, Seth with the both of them, and like, I've been playing you guys all along since Austin Theory got hurt. I sent Grayson Waller to make new friends with somebody else.
I'd be upset.
Until like it would be. I'd be like, wait. There's so much 5D chess going on right now. Like that would hurt my brain. It's the entire WrestleMania build has been hurt because of all these injuries.
Yes.
If Seth doesn't get hurt, I believe we get Seth Roman. Because that was where we were going with all of Seth's henchmen taking out Roman constantly. I believe we would have gotten Seth Roman. I believe we would have gotten Punk and Cody. With Seth getting hurt, they pivoted to Dave Meltzer said they pivoted to Braun and Punk until the night of the 3 Stages of Hell match because they wanted to do Cody Roman until the night of the 3 Stages of Hell match, and then Cody and Drew both said they want Drew to win, and then they pivoted again to get to Cody, Drew, Jacob, and now Roman Punk, which is fine. Roman Punk is a main event match. But now with Braun's injury, you can't even do a story with Braun and Seth because
and they're not gonna prolong that to the next WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
No, so that'll be a Survivor Series.
Yeah, that'll get.
No, it's SummerSlam. That'll be a SummerSlam match.
Yeah,
if they're both healthy, which is also a 2-night show in Minneapolis this year. So you need to have those matches anyway.
Yeah.
Everything this year, this build has been so weird because of injuries to different athletes. But Monday Night Raw, that was Monday Night Raw. I thought it was a really good show.
Pretty good.
I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah.
Do we want to do an NXT preview?
No.
But we have a
no.
We got Jada Parker versus Blake Monroe tonight.
No.
We're gonna find out who the number one contender for the women's championship is.
This guy, he's like stale. I hate you.
Gotta start watching NXT, bro. We gotta start paying attention to NXT.
I would rather. Well, first off, they don't even have a GM. So my thing is, I would rather watch.
They have an
TNA.
interim GM.
I don't give a damn. I would rather watch TNA before I watch NXT.
We can do that too.
No.
TNA has 2 GMs.
I hate you.
We have Sonya Deville. I forgot her name in TNA.
And what's his face?
The director of Authority.
That guy. Santino Marella.
Santino Marella. I was going to say the father of Ariana Grace.
Wow.
But yeah, we have 2 GMs.
That was Monday Night Raw, and we appreciate you guys for watching, as always. You can catch us on Spotify, TikTok, iHeartRadio, and YouTube, as well as our personal TikToks, until the boy Harm decides to give up everything.
Only Discord.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, we appreciate you guys for watching us. We appreciate you guys for following the Squashfest podcast and everything we're trying to do, grow the community. And again, we're just avid lovers of wrestling. So please do comment and let us know your thoughts. Join the conversation. Let's talk about it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.